guys, today I'm going to show you my build that I'll be running for the Blackwood chapter on my Stamina Nightblade for no CP. Here's what our buffed stats look like on the front bar. We've got 25 points into health, 39 points into stamina. We have 20,681 max magicka, 27,687 max health, 29,447 max stamina, 5,428 weapon damage, and 13,855 physical penetration. The weapon damage and the physical penetration will both scale from the Balorg proc. On our back bar, we've got 25,369 physical resist and 2,246 critical resist. So this puts us pretty high up there as far as tanky goes. When you're trying to get away from Zergs that are chasing you around keeps or whatever, when you're on your back bar, you're pretty tanky and hard to kill. We're using the Serpent Mundus, which will give us an additional 310 stamina recovery. We're Vampire Stage 2, which will give us additional weapon damage when we come out of stealth, as well as remove the penalty of sneak. The food we're using is Longfin Pasty with melon sauce. This increases our max health by 4,462 and our max magicka and max stamina by 4,105. So let's have a look at the gear. The first set we're wearing is Balorg's. The one piece gives us 129 weapon and spell damage. The two piece, when you use an ultimate ability, you gain weapon and spell damage equal to the amount of total ultimate consumed. Physical and spell penetration equal to 23 times the amount for 12 seconds. So this set is extremely powerful on Stamina Nightblade. Second set we're using is Heartland Conquerors. We've got a 5-piece on the body, 3 well-fitted, 2 impin. We've got Tri-Stat enchants on the heavy pieces. We have 2 heavy, the chest and the legs are heavy with Tri-Stat enchants. We also have a Tri-Stat enchant on the helmet. What Heartland Conqueror does is basically increases the effectiveness of your weapon traits by 100%. So this will make our sharp trait on our greatsword extremely strong, and our defending trait on our bow extremely strong as well. Third set we're using, Spriggans. This is a great set, even though procs are back. This set is still top tier. We've got jewelry, 1 infused, 2 swift. You can go with 3 swift if you'd like. You could go 3 infused if you'd like. You can add a bloodthirsty in there. It doesn't really matter. I prefer the movement speed, so sometimes I'll switch between 1 infused, 2 swift, and then 3 swift. For recovery, sometimes you're hurting for recovery and no CP, so every so often I put 3 recovery here, and then I'll switch it out for a weapon damage, and it kind of works like that. So we've got a greatsword sharpened, and you can see the tooltip there for the spell penetration, physical penetration, 6,552. That's from the Heartland Conqueror bonus. So we're getting a lot of penetration out of the greatsword. On the back bar, we're running a Bow of Critical Riposte. This gives us the 2-piece bonus only because it's just the bow we're running. So we get an additional 424 critical resistance. Then you can see that with the defending trait and Heartland Conqueror, we're getting 6,552 resistance on the back bar. It makes us extremely tanky on the back bar. So we have 25,369 resist on the back bar with almost 3k critical resist. You can run poisons on the back bar. You can run infused weapon damage, and then just light attack before you swap to your front bar to get the additional weapon damage. I just prefer the poisons. We're running just the crown double dot poisons here. For skills, we're running surprise attack. Deals 8,119 physical damage. And when you attack somebody from flank, so behind them to the sides, I think it's pretty much anywhere except for directly in front of them, we'll stun them and set them off balance for 3 seconds. Executioner. This does an additional 400% damage to enemies that are below 50% health. This is our execute skill. This is kind of a flex slot. If you'd like to run something else here, you can, because surprise attack does enough damage that it pretty much doesn't execute on its own. Rally. This gives us major brutality, which increases our weapon damage by 20%. It also increases our stamina recovery, and it will give us, this is our burst heal pretty much here. Camouflage Hunter. We get major savagery, increasing our weapon critical, and we get minor berserk for 5 seconds after we deal critical damage from an enemy's flank. So when we hit them from behind with this, then it'll proc this and we'll get an additional 5% damage. Our 5th skill is Relentless Focus. Focus your senses for 1 minute, increasing your critical damage and healing by 2% with every light and heavy attack up to 5 times. So every time you light attack, it will put 1 stack on your Relentless Focus, and it increases your critical damage. And then you can push the button again, and it will fire a spectral bow that deals 15,096 damage and heals you for 33% of the damage done. Our ultimate on the front bar is In-Cap Strike. So when you hit somebody with this, you deal an additional 20% damage to them for 6 seconds. So this is super strong. When this turns green, you can also stun them. So a lot of the time I'll wait until I get 120 ultimate, and then you'll see that this icon will turn green, and then you can stun people using it. On our back bar, we're using Shadowy Disguise. This is our cloak. Shadow Image. This allows you to put down a shade and then teleport back to it, so you can put down a shade on the bottom floor of a tower or something, and then, you know, kite people to the top floor, and push your shade again, it'll teleport you back down to the bottom. Or this is Resolving Vigor. This is our heal. It's a heal over time. Shuffle. This gives us major evasion for 20 seconds, which is really strong. It reduces our damage taken from AoE attacks by 20%, and it also gives us immunity to snares and immobilizations. Leeching Strikes. This gives us a little bit of health back, a little bit of stamina, a little bit of magic, and when this effect ends, it gives us kind of a burst heal, burst stam. It's really nice to have. Temporal Guard. This is your defensive ultimate. This is what you'll use if you've got a large group chasing you and there's really no way out. You can hit your Temporal Guard and then go straight into Shadowy Disguise, and most of the time that'll get you away. Also, for just having this slotted, you get minor protection, which reduces your damage taken on this back bar by 5%. Passives. Make sure you get all the passives from your class skill lines. Make sure you get all the passives from your weapon skill lines. This is the important one here, Hasty Retreat. So when we roll dodge on our bow bar, we get Major Expedition for 4 seconds. This is what makes us extremely fast. Make sure you get all of your medium armor passives, get all of your heavy armor passives. Under Vampire, we've got Darkstalker. This removes the movement speed penalty of Sneak. Strike from the Shadows. This gives us 300 weapon and spell damage for 6 seconds after we come out of stealth. Fighters Guild. Got Slayer, because we've got Camouflage Hunter slotted on the front bar here, so we get an additional 3% weapon damage. Siege Order, we're using Consecrated Barrier. This gives us a 5k shield when we're blocking. So if we're blocking on the back bar, with this little bubble around us, it just gives us a tiny little shield. Undaunted, make sure you get Undaunted Metal for the additional 4% stats. Under Alliance War, make sure you get Continuous Attack. This increases our movement speed while mounted, and also gives us additional weapon damage after you capture a resource. All your racial passes, and then make sure you get Medicinal Use in Alchemy. I'll show you what I have for CP. If you plan to play this in CP, you can probably swap out the recovery on your jewelry for additional weapon damage. Have resilience, fighting finesse, backstabber, deadly aim, juggernaut, boundless vitality, rejuvenation, slippery. Slippery is really strong. It'll break free for you once every 21 seconds. Green tree doesn't really matter, but I've got Steed's Blessing, Treasure Hunter, Master Gatherer, and Gifted Rider. I think that about covers it for the build. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. I'm gonna play a couple of clips here so you guys can kind of see the build in action, and thanks for watching and hope you guys have a good day. He probably has a friend crouched behind.